Well, good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone had a restful and relaxing Thanksgiving, regardless of what those plans may have entailed. This is a really exciting announcement today to be able to talk about the 275th anniversary of the City of Frederick, which is coming up in now less than one short month. And we're really excited to be able to talk today about some of what we have planned for the city to be able to undertake this 275th celebration. We are inviting all of Frederick and the Frederick community to join the story of Frederick's history and our future as we rejoice in this 275th. We are looking at a number of activities to be held throughout the 2020 calendar year in conjunction with our 275th anniversary activities. And we had the opportunity 25 years ago with a 250th celebration to really make it a year's worth of activities. We won't be quite as ambitious in this sort of mid half century year of demarcation, but we do want to make 2020 a special year and are looking at a lot of the outstanding existing events that are on our calendar already to be 275th anniversary events, as well as inviting the community to come to us with events that they may be conducting that can be designated as 275th anniversary events. This is very much similar to the process that was used 25 years ago. And so the big effort that I undertook when we came to the conclusion that we were heading upon this anniversary was we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We have a lot of people who were around 25 years ago who were part of those celebrations. We have a lot of new people in our community that we want to get involved. And so our task now is to marry the best of the ways in which we've done this in the past with the many new residents and the new people who are here to really make the 275th something that's special and unique for the city in 2020. So just as some examples of some activities that we're looking at in terms of the 275th is the key drop that occurs on December 31st every year to welcome in the new year down on Carroll Creek. That is an event that is sponsored by the Civitan Club, and that is an event which we can make a 275th anniversary event to really kick off and ring in the new year the right way. Certainly the city's been involved for many years in putting on a 4th of July celebration, and that will be a tremendous opportunity for the city as well to look at ways in which we can take the 275th anniversary and really highlight as part of Frederick's 4th celebration. And as you're all aware, these Office of Special Events Celebrate Frederick opportunities are joint efforts of the City of Frederick and Celebrate Frederick, a standalone 501c3 supported by our Office of Special Events. And these are some of the partnerships that maybe weren't as whole as in 25 years ago that are in place now, and I really think we have an opportunity to leverage these relationships that we've built over the last 25 years to do really great things in 2020. We didn't have minor league baseball in Frederick 25 years ago. We do now, and the opportunity is there for us to look at the keys as a part of how we celebrate our 25th. Our 275th anniversary. 2020 is also the 75th anniversary of the end of World War II, and that affords us an opportunity to do a special kind of recognition for our veterans and those who served. That's always been a real hallmark of this community, how we have celebrated and provided great support to those who've served our country, and Frederick, because of its history, has been at the center of many of those, much of that American military history, and so our opportunity to bring those things together in 2020 is something that we're really going to be looking at. We are looking at events that will span all generations and all ages. We want this to be as inclusive as it can possibly be, perhaps the most inclusive celebration the city has ever done, just because of the way in which this community has changed over the years and the way in which we've taken an emphasis in this administration to really highlight diversity and inclusion as being important elements of what it means to be a part of the Frederick community. So we are looking to organizations to join these celebrations, to get their events sanctioned. There are forms and additional information that are available on the city's website. You'll be able to submit that information to us. We are very quickly, very soon, going to have some promotional products available, pins and shirts and coins and those kinds of opportunities to wear publicly and to celebrate the 275th anniversary. And I'm going to be unveiling very shortly the motif that will be front and center as we undertake that 270th. And I hope that when people look at it, they'll see that it looks familiar. Again, our goal here was not to do something brand new, but to take the great history that the city already has and build upon it for our 275th anniversary. It's also important as we do this to talk about our partners, and I'm really grateful that as we've reached out to a number of different people to be involved in what we're doing for the 275th, that those individuals have quickly said yes. And so we're forging a strong partnership with Visit Frederick and John Fiesler. And John was a part of a lot of these activities 25 years ago. So that doesn't make John anything other than an experienced individual, someone that we should want to be involved as we put together a 275th celebration here in Frederick. Working very closely with the Chamber of Commerce, with Frederick County Public Schools, and happy to have Rick Weldon from the Chamber is here. Darrell Boffman, representing the Superintendent of Public Schools, is here as well. I've had an opportunity over many years to work with Chris Hall through our days at the cable company, and next to John Fiesler, I can't imagine anybody who knows more about the history of this community than Chris. And to have Chris on board as someone who's going to assist us in looking at how we can really bring the history of this community alive as we look to the future is really important. Carrie Saavedra with Rose Hill Manor, Frederick County Government, I think it's really important to build those connections in as well. And Jennifer Martin from our own Office of Special Events. The person that I have tapped to really help coordinate all of this, again, is about going back to the future, and that's Beth Gura. Beth Gura was here 25 years ago when the city worked on its 250th and did a spectacular job during that Star-Spangled celebration of helping to bring all of the resources and the coordination of groups and individuals together in order to make the 250th anniversary of the city of Frederick a real celebration. And I'm so pleased that, one, she was available, two, she was interested, and three, it really just builds on someone who's been through this whole experience before, knows where many of the pitfalls and challenges and opportunities lie, and has really, just in the time that she's been providing some consulting services to my office through this effort, to really get the team together that is going to make this wonderful. We are continuing to put the asks out. We are continuing to expand the outreach. Some of the individual leaders on that executive steering committee that we will have are going to be leading individual efforts of this 275th celebration, whether it's building the history component or building the events component or the promotional side of it. All of this is really important if we're going to have success. So to that end, I'm going to do a big reveal here of the promotional side of what people are going to start to see and what we hope will become really commonplace around Frederick over the next year as the city celebrates its 275th anniversary. This represents the old. This was 25 years ago at the 250th, and this represents the 275th. Applause may be appropriate. So I think the biggest thing that I hope folks will notice is that we're really using kind of the same design feature. It's been demonstrated very clearly in this community that we love the clustered spires, that they are a part of who we are as a community, and accentuating the clustered spires as we did 25 years ago is really appropriate and something that we're excited to do. We've obviously changed the year from 250 to 275th, but the other big change that you'll see is the use of the Maryland flag as a background image as opposed to the United States flag. And that's really twofold. One, we're really trying to accentuate the notion of Frederick, Maryland, and Maryland as a destination and Frederick as a part of that. It's also just a really great flag. And it's a really great image, and what we found in just some of our conversations about pulling this all together is that you almost can't produce enough merchandise that has the Maryland flag on it in terms of really promoting what it is that you're trying to do. So we think the element of the Maryland flag being included as part of this logo will really make it attractive for people who want to be a part of this and to wear some little piece of the 275th. I also wanted to provide, these are much smaller sort of visual elements, as I have coins that were produced from the 250th, and we still have a number of coins actually from 50 years ago, from the 225th anniversary of the city of Frederick. And this element of the spires has been iterative throughout the last 50 years. So 50 years ago, it was really just the spires on the coin. 25 years ago, they added the United States flag, and here we are 25 years later bringing the Maryland flag into the picture. So if you look through the history of the coins that have been produced, we're really staying very true to who we are as a history, but also looking forward and willing to change and adjust and modify. And I think that says a lot about what this community has been over 275 years, a community that's progressive and innovative and forward-thinking, and that's really what we're trying to accomplish with our 275th, is to celebrate all of the wonderful things that this community does for so many people every single day. I do not wish to put Beth on the spot, but I certainly would like to invite her to come forward if she wishes to, and to make a few remarks about her involvement in this 275th celebration.
Thank you, Mayor O'Connor. Thank you very much, Mayor O'Connor. I am over the moon thrilled to be back serving the city of Frederick. I'm delighted with this executive steering committee that we have. It's really a dream team of volunteers, but John and I have decided that we haven't changed a bit. In the past 25 years. But the city of Frederick, my goodness, how beautiful you look, how much you've grown. I'm so proud of all that has happened, and I truly look forward to working with many people to have a wonderful 275th anniversary year. So please join the story. Come get involved, have your event sanctioned, and come please be a volunteer. Look forward to working with you. Thank you.
So I did want, before we wrap up, to just one more time say there is a special page on the city's website that's been set up for the city's 275th. It's really complicated. It is cityoffrederickmd.gov, our new web domain, /275. That's where you'll find information. It's where you'll be able to find the forms about getting your event sanctioned, to learn more about the activities as they are scheduled. We have a tentative list of things that we could talk about now. We're not quite ready to put all of those details out yet. We've got a little bit more confirmation that we want to do, but we also know that over the course of the year, it's a schedule that's going to change. Things are going to get added. There are going to be adjustments, and that website is really going to be a critical resource for our residents and the community members to see what it is that we're putting on and to stay up to date with what's happening with the 275th. So thank you very much for being here. It is really exciting to be this close to kicking off what's really going to be a special year in the city of Frederick. And I want to thank all of those who are already involved and those who are going to be involved. Together, we'll join the story, and it's going to be wonderful for the city of Frederick. So thanks so much for being here today. And I don't know if anybody has any questions, but we're happy to answer them as best we can if anybody does. Great. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your day.